Okay, today this is 5.3. This is adding and subtracting unlike fractions. So we're still going to stick with addition and subtraction of fractions. We're just going to be doing it with different denominators today. And as you well know, if you're going to add or subtract unlike fractions, you must get a common denominator. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the least common denominator, but it does help make it a little bit simpler if we have the LCM of the denominators. We call that the LCD, the least common denominator. That would be finding the LCM of the denominators. And so in this one, just a very basic problem. Let me see if I can get something here. So in 12 would be the LCD. 3 goes into 12 and 12 goes into 12. So this becomes 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 1 is 4. Then I just simply add the top and I get 9/12, and I can reduce that by 3. I get 3/4, and I am finished. So let's look at a few problems that we're going to be dealing with today. Okay, we might not do all of these. These are pretty basic, but the first thing you do when you're dealing with signed fractions is you decide if you're going to add or subtract. And because I've got different signs here, I'm subtracting, but I want to get a common denominator. So that would be 12. Okay, 3 and 4 both go into 12. 3 into 12 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. That's a negative. 4 into 12 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. That's positive. Negative 8 and positive 3. I have to subtract. 8 minus 3 is 5. Over 12, and because 8/12 is negative, it's the bigger number. My answer is also negative, negative 5/12. Here, I'm subtracting. Obviously, I've got a positive 3/10 and negative 4/5. I do want to get a common denominator, and that is 10. Pretty simple. Okay, 10, that's 3, minus 5 and 10. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, again, I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 3 is 5/10, but that's equal to 1/2. And because this is negative and it's the bigger fraction, my answer is negative. Okay, here the signs are telling me to add, same sign sum. So we get a common denominator and we're just going to add. Okay, this is going to be 30 and 30. 15 and 30, 2 times 4 is 8. That's a negative 8. Okay, minus 10 and 30 is 3. 3 times 9 is 27. Okay, now I simply just add. Okay, it's 30 here. 27 and 8, that's going to be 35. Negative 30, it's 35 30. So we're going to wait until the end to put our negative on there. Okay, so 30 goes into 35 one time. I'm going to go up here because we're running out of room with 5 remainder. But 5 over 30 can be reduced. That'd be 1 and 1/6. And because these are both negative, I had to put my negative on at the end. I always say wait till the end to put your negative in because you start doing goofy things with your fraction when you're simplifying it or making an improper fraction a mixed number. So I'd say wait till the end to put your sign on the answer. Okay, here, common denominator is 8. We're going to leave this one 8. That's going to be 8. 4 into 8 goes 2 times. 2 times 1 is 2. That's a minus. Okay, plus 1/8. Negative 2, positive 1 gives me a negative 1/8. And I'm finished. No reducing here. Same sign sum. We've got 12, 4 into 12, 3 times 3 times 3 is 9, that's negative. 3 into 12 is 4, 4 times 1 is 4. Same sign sum, 9. 9 plus 4 is, I get negative, well let's wait till the end to do that. 9 plus 4 is 13 over 12. 12 goes to 13 one time with one remainder. And we put our negative on at the very end because it is negative. They're both negative, so when I add, I get a negative answer. 9 and 8 have nothing in common, so we have to multiply those together to get our LCD, and that is 72. 9 into 72 goes 8 times 8 times 7 is 56. 8 into 72, 9 times 5 is 45. Okay, and when I add these things together, I'm going to get 101 over 72. Now I know this is positive because they're both positive. Okay, when I reduce that, that's 1, and that's going to be 29 over 72, and that's it, because 29 is prime, and we are finished. Okay, let's look at some more. Okay, mixed numbers. Again, stack them vertically, just like this. I am adding, okay, so I just need a common denominator. That's going to be 18. 6 and 18 is 3, 3 times 1 is 3, 9 into 18 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. And I am adding, so I really don't have to worry about borrowing or anything. In this case, I wouldn't anyway. 3 plus 2 is 5, 10 plus 3 is 13, 13 over 18. That is simplified. We don't have to do anything else. Here, now I'm going to go ahead and stack them, then I'm going to decide what I need to do. 1 and 1/5. Okay, now because one's positive, one's negative, I had to subtract these. I had to find the difference. Different signs, find the difference. Okay, I've got 10 as the common denominator. I'll leave that 10. 5 into 10 goes 2 times 2 times 1 is 2. 6 minus 1 is 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. That's 5 and 5/10. But 5/10 becomes 1/2, so it's 5 and 1/2. We're finished. Next one. Put the bigger on top, smaller on bottom. And because they're different signs, I am going to subtract. I get a common denominator of 15. 3 into 15 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 into 15 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And because this is bigger than this, I don't have to borrow at all. 6 minus 2 is 4. 9 minus 5 is 4. That's 4/15. And I'm finished. Moving on. Let's look at this one. Okay, two negatives together become positive. I simply add 4 3/8 and 1 2/3, and I have to add those two. So what I want to do is get a common denominator. That's going to be 24. Okay, 24. 3 into 24 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 into 24 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, add 4 plus 1 is 5. 9 and 16, that is 25. Okay, we have an issue here, excuse me, because this is improper. That becomes 1 and 1/24. Well, I have to add the 1 to the 6, so that's 6 and 1/24 for our answer. Okay, over here, let's look at this. I am going to have to subtract because one's positive, one's negative. Put the 5 and 4/11 on top because it's bigger. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, put the bigger number on top. Okay, I am subtracting. And again, this is not necessarily saying that this is negative, although it is up here. This is just saying I'm subtracting. That's all I'm putting this here for, because I'm subtracting. Okay, I think 33 is our common denominator. 3 into 33 goes 11 times. 11 times 2 is 22. 11 into 33 goes 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Now I am going to have to borrow here. That becomes 4, and this becomes 45 over 33, because I had to add 33 to 12. And I got 45. Now I can subtract. This is 2. 45 minus 22 is 23 over 33, and this is in simplest form. Okay, I'm good there. Again, I'm not going to do this, but here, same sign, sum. So I'm just going to add them, and I'll stack them here. And then 1 3/7 here. Well, maybe I'll do it. Common denominator, 14. That's going to be a 6. This stays 14. Okay, done with that. Add. That's going to be 3. That's going to be 9/14, right? They're both negative here, so my answer has to be negative, and I'm good. Next, let's do some variables. Find the sum or difference, okay? So here what we're looking at is we need a common denominator. 15 and 6 is going to be 30. Common denominator is 30. 15 and a 30 goes 2 times. 2 times x is just 2x. 6 into 30, 5 times x is 5x. Now I simply add them together. These are like terms, so I can add them. I get 7x over 30. I don't have to reduce because these two numbers do not reduce, so I'm finished. 7x over 30. Here, like terms, 8 and 12, well, that's going to be 24. And we're simply adding. 8 and 12 is 3. 3 times x is 3x. 12 and 24 is 2. 2 times x is 2x. Add them together, I get 5x over 24. This does not reduce at all. Okay. Next, I get, let's see, let's do 6. 6 works. 3 into 6 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10x. And this is just x over 6. This is just going to be, I'm going to subtract to get 9x over 6. I reduce that by 3. I get 3x over 2. And I'm finished. Here, 5 and 6. 30 is the common denominator. 5 into 6, 30 goes 6 times. 6 times x is 6x. 6 into 30 is 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25x. I'm going to subtract, so I get a negative 31x over 30. I can leave this improper. I don't want to make this a mixed number because it does have a variable. So I'm finished with this. This is good. Okay, one more thing. Let's look at a word problem. Newly cut lumber contains a lot of moisture before the wood is used for carpentry or construction is usually dried. Suppose a freshly cut board weighs 10.5 pounds. After drying, the board weighs 4 2/3 pounds. What was the weight of the water that evaporated? Well, what you want to do is find the difference, right? So stack them. 10 1/2, 4 2/3, I am subtracting. Okay, common denominator is 6. 3 into 6 is 2. 2 into 2 is 4. 2 into 6 is 3. 3 into 1 is 3. I have to borrow because I am subtracting. I need this fraction up here to be bigger than this. This is 9. Okay, I'm just adding 6 and I get 9/6. Now subtract. 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. I get 5 and 5/6 pounds. And I am finished. And that concludes 5.3.